Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had given Joseph's family the land of Goshen to live in. But after he died, the new Pharaoh treated the Israelites badly. And now they were his slaves. 400 years later, God called Moses to lead the people out of Egypt. Moses and Aaron went and spoke to Pharaoh. They told him, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Let my people go."
"Is that so?"
retorted Pharaoh.
"And who is the Lord? Why should I listen to him? And let Israel go? No one tells me what to do. I will not let Israel go."
Then the Lord told Moses,
"Now you will see what I will do to Pharaoh. He will soon realize that I am strong and powerful, and he will let the people go. In fact, he will force them to leave his land."
Then the Lord said to Moses,
"Go to Pharaoh in the morning as he goes down to the river. Stand on the bank of the Nile and meet him there. Tell Aaron to raise his staff and strike the water of the Nile."
So Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded them. Suddenly, the whole river turned to blood. Pharaoh called in his own wise men and sorcerers. And these Egyptian magicians did the same thing with their magic, turning water into blood and making the situation worse. Everywhere in Egypt, water turned into blood. Even the water stored in wooden bowls and stone pots. The fish in the river died, and the water became so foul that the water stinks, and the Egyptians couldn't drink it. So they have to dig along the riverbank to find drinking water. 7 days later, the Lord said to Moses,
"Tell Aaron to raise his staff over all the rivers, canals, and ponds, and bring up frogs over all the land."
So Aaron did as God commanded. And frogs came up out of the river, and into the palace, and the bedrooms, even onto their beds. The magicians of Egypt were able to do the same thing with their magic. They caused more frogs to come up on the land of Egypt. The plague of frogs was so annoying that Pharaoh agreed to let the people of Israel go. At Pharaoh's request, God caused all the frogs to die the next day. But when Pharaoh saw that relief had come, he became stubborn. He changed his mind and refused to let the people go. So God said to Moses,
"Tell Aaron to strike the ground with his staff."
So when Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded them, the dust turned into swarms of gnats, covering the Egyptians and their animals. And they all were itching and scratching. Pharaoh's magicians tried to do the same thing with their magic. But this time they failed. "This is the work of God," the magicians exclaimed to Pharaoh. But Pharaoh's heart remained hard. He wouldn't listen to them. God gave a warning for the next plague. Egyptians' homes will be filled with flies the next day. But the homes of the Israelites will be spared. The next day, the Lord did just as he had said. A thick swarm of flies filled Pharaoh's palace and the houses of his officials. The whole land of Egypt was thrown into chaos by the flies. But there were no flies at all in the land of Goshen, where the Hebrew people lived. The plague of flies was so bad that Pharaoh was forced to send for Moses and Aaron.
"All right. Go ahead and leave to offer sacrifices to your God. But do it here in this land."
But Moses replied, That wouldn't be right. The Egyptians hate the sacrifices that we offer.
All right then. Go into the wilderness to offer sacrifices. But don't go too far away.
Now hurry and pray for me.
But when the swarms of flies disappeared, Pharaoh changed his mind again. The Lord warned Pharaoh that should he still refuse to let the people go, then the next day, he will strike their livestock, horses, donkeys, camels, cattle, sheep and goats, with a deadly plague. Pharaoh still would not change his mind. So the Lord did just as he had said. The next morning all the livestock of the Egyptians died. But the Israelites didn't lose a single animal. But even so, Pharaoh's heart remained stubborn, and he still refused to let the people go. Then the Lord told Moses to take handfuls of soot from a brick kiln and toss it into the air. The ashes will spread like fine dust over the whole land of Egypt, causing festering boils to break out on people and animals. But still Pharaoh would not change his mind. God told Moses to warn Pharaoh that the next day he will send the greatest hailstorm on Egypt. Pharaoh is to order his people to bring their livestock from the open fields into shelters. Any person or animal left outside will die when the hail falls. Some of the people listened and quickly sought shelter for their servants and livestock. Just as God had predicted through Moses, lightning strikes, and huge hailstones fall, striking down everything in the open field. People, animals, and crops alike. Even the trees were destroyed. The only place without hail was the region of Goshen, where the people of Israel lived. Then Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron.
Please beg the Lord to end this terrifying thunder and hail. I will let the people go.
All right, Moses replied. So Moses left Pharaoh's court and went out of the city and prayed. Then the thunder, rain, and hail stopped. But when Pharaoh saw these, he again became stubborn and refused to let the people leave. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and told him what God said.
How long will you refuse to submit to me? Let my people go, so they can worship me. If you refuse, watch out. For tomorrow I will bring a swarm of locusts on your country.
And with that, Moses turned and left Pharaoh. Egyptian officials came to Pharaoh and appealed to him. Don't you realize that Egypt lies in ruins because of all these plagues? Now Moses and Aaron are predicting a plague of locusts. If my Lord does not let their people go, we beg you, let the Israelites go and worship the Lord their God. So Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh.
All right, go and worship the Lord your God. But who exactly will be going with you?
Moses replied, we will all go, young and old, our sons and daughters, and our flocks and herds. We must all join together in celebrating a festival to the Lord. Pharaoh retorted,
Never! Only the men may go and worship the Lord.
And Pharaoh threw them out of the palace. Then the Lord said to Moses,
Raise your hand over the land of Egypt to bring on the locusts. Let them cover the land and devour every plant that survived the hailstorm.
So Moses raised his staff and the Lord caused a east wind to blow across the land, all day and all night. When morning arrived, the east wind had brought the locusts. The locusts swarmed over the whole land and darkened the sky. They ate every plant in the fields and all the fruit on the trees that had survived the hailstorm. All the flax and barley were ruined by the hail, and now all the wheat were eaten up by the locusts. Not a single leaf was left on the trees and plants throughout the land of Egypt. Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron.
I have sinned against God and against you. Forgive my sin, just this once, and plead with the Lord your God to take away this death from me.
So Moses left Pharaoh's court and pleaded with the Lord. The Lord changed the direction of the wind. A strong west wind blew the locusts into the Red Sea. Not a single locust remained in all the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh was stubborn. He changed his mind again and refused to let the people go. Since Pharaoh would not change his mind, God sent a thick, black darkness over the land of Egypt. During all that time, the people could not see each other, so no one moved. The Egyptians need to light their lamps even when it was daytime. But there was light as usual in Goshen, where the people of Israel lived. Finally, Pharaoh called for Moses.
Go and worship the Lord. You may take your little ones with you, but leave your flocks and herds here.
No, Moses said. We must take our animals for sacrifices and burnt offerings to the Lord our God. Once more, Pharaoh would not let them go.
Get out of here! I'm warning you. Never come back to see me again. The day you see my face, you will die.
Very well, Moses replied. I will never see your face again. Then the Lord said to Moses,
I will strike Pharaoh and the land of Egypt with one more blow. After that, Pharaoh will let you leave this country.
In fact, he will be so eager to get rid of you that he will force you all to leave.
Moses told Pharaoh, At midnight tonight, all the firstborn sons will die in every family of Egypt. Even the firstborn of all the livestock will die. Moses was very angry. He turned and left Pharaoh. God told Moses,
Tonight every family of Israel must eat a meal of roast lamb with herb sauce and flat bread. This will be called the Feast of the Passover.
Take a small branch and paint the blood of the lamb around the door frame, on the sides and on the top.
It will keep you safe from the sickness I will send on the land. Stay inside your house because I will pass through the city.
The oldest son in each family will get sick and die, because Pharaoh will not listen and let my people go.
That night at midnight, the Lord struck down all the firstborn sons in the land of Egypt. Even Pharaoh's eldest son became sick and died. Loud wailing was heard throughout the land of Egypt. After God sent the 10th and most awful plague, and all the eldest boys in every Egyptian family died, Pharaoh finally changed his mind. He told Moses, Aaron, and the Israelites to go. All the Egyptians urged the people of Israel to get out of the land as quickly as possible, for they thought, we will all die. The next day, all the children of Israel left Egypt and followed Moses to the land that God had promised them. After 430 years of being slaves, they were free, just as God had promised.